Hello and welcome to your English language class. Today in this class we'll continue reading the chapter The Lotus Eaters, written by Geraldine McCaughrean. Now we've already read till page number 54, second para. Okay, so let us start reading from the text. The long tied up ships were heaved off the sand and gravel and into the deep water. So the ships which were tied up along the coast of the sea were heaved off. Heaved off means they were pushed with a lot of effort because they were standing in the sand and gravel, and now they were pushed into the deep water as the army was returning to its hometown. So Odysseus felt the sand and gravel grate against the bottom of his ship. Odysseus, the captain of the army, he could feel the sand and gravel rubbing against the bottom of his ship. There was a rush of white water past the bow. Now, what's a bow? An old device used for taking the sun's altitude at sea. And his sail. Sail, you must be knowing, a piece of fabric attached to a boat or a ship that causes the wind to drive the boat. Filled with wind, he was going home. Now, Odysseus, after fighting the Trojan War for almost 10 years, was returning to his hometown along with his soldiers. So, obviously, he was in a jovial mood, he was very enthusiastic, and so was his army. Behind his own fast black ship, like cygnets behind their swan, were 11 other ships rowed by his men. So, just like the baby swans or the young swans follow their mother swan, right? So, likewise, uh, the 11 ships were following the ship which was headed by Odysseus, okay, which was being ridden by Odysseus. At first, their rowing was ragged. Ragged means it was kind of uneven or not very rhythmic. Their oars beat out of time for lack of practice, and their shoulders burned under the Trojan sun. Now, obviously, they were out of practice, and that's why their oars were not in sync. They were not synchronized. They were going off the beat. Okay, and their shoulders were tired. But gradually, they settled into a rhythm. But once they started rowing, they came into the rhythm, and everybody was doing it in a sync. Now, suddenly a breeze sprang up. The breezes braided themselves into a wind. Now, as they were heading towards their country, so suddenly what happened? A slow breeze started um, blowing, and then all the breezes, they wove themselves into a wind, a strong wind. Okay, braided themselves, just like you make a braid. ब्रेड मीन्स गुथ होती है ना, जैसे चोटी को गूंथते हैं. So just like they wove themselves into a wind. The wind twisted itself into a gusting gale, and the gale screwed itself into a frenzy. So the strong wind, it turned into a gusting gale, means a much more stronger kind of a wind, and it turned into a violent, a very strong storm. Okay. Odysseus' 12 ships were juggled by the waves, and the sides clashed as they rose and fell. Now, what happened? The storm, it made all the ships to juggle in the air. Okay, it was as if a juggler is throwing the ships up in the air, and then again it's coming back and hitting the water. Okay, so it was like as if somebody is juggling them in the air. So they were rising and then falling. Okay, all the ships, as if they are some kind of balls or some kind of toys. The crews looked in terror at their comrades. Comrades mean fellow soldiers. So the crews, they were all terrified, and they were looking at their fellow soldiers in terror. They saw them one moment against a sky crazed with lightning, and the next moment in a valley of shining black water. So all the ships, they were going up and down in water, and um, okay, and they could see one another. Um, okay, one another juggling up and down along with the ships, and they were just going up with the ship, and as if they were touching the lightning in the sky, and the next moment they were deep into the shining black water of the sea. Then they were enveloped in clouds of spray. Then suddenly, what happened? A rain shower started. They raised their oars, but they were too slow to lower the sails, which ripped and tore. Now, they couldn't judge what's going to happen next, so they couldn't be quick enough to lower the sails. The fabric, um, as I've explained to you, what are sails, so they were not able to lower the sails, and because of that, the sails just ripped apart and they just tore. Okay, 200 voices called on the gods, and prayers skimmed like seagulls over the sea. Now 200 soldiers were riding the ships. Okay, they were boarding the ships. So all of them were praying to God, and their prayers were gliding like seagulls over the sea. जैसे कि आपने देखा होगा मे बी जो सी क्रीचर्स होते हैं, या जो सी गर्ल्स होते हैं, ओके, जो बर्ड्स होती हैं, सी गर्ल्स. सो इफ दे आर होवरिंग ओवर द सी, देन the kind of sound they make, the kind of voice they make. So the prayers of these soldiers were gliding just like seagulls over the sea. For 9 days and nights they ate wet bread and drank rainwater. Sorry. So for 9 days and nights they ate only wet bread. Okay. So all their food was drenched in the rain, and they were forced to eat wet bread, and they could only drink rainwater. Okay. Land. So somebody shouted land. So where? I don't believe you. There. It's an island. So out of all the soldiers, somebody saw the land, and rest all the soldiers were asking him that where do you see a land? Then he said, it's an island, we shall be driven past. Then all of them were skeptical that we'll not be able to reach that island, we'll be driven past, we shall be broken up. Then out of all those voices, a very strong and very confident voice came, and it said, we shall be saved. And whose voice was it? Odysseus. And he was his voice was quite loud but very calm. Okay, said Odysseus loudly and calmly. We shall be saved, said Odysseus again loudly, and the gods are to be thanked for it. So it's the duty of the commander or the captain to keep the army or the soldiers motivated. He cannot discourage them, or he cannot just let his soldiers get demotivated, whatever the circumstances may be. He's got to pep them up. He's got to keep them motivated. So that's what Odysseus was doing right now. We shall be saved, said Odysseus again loudly, and the gods are to be thanked for it. So he just tries to motivate his soldiers, and he's asking them to be thankful to God for saving their lives. The gods were indeed to be thanked. The storm died in an instant. So as soon as he said that we shall be thankful to God, suddenly what happened? God showed mercy towards them, and the storm just stopped. And they found themselves on a sunlit beach of white sand. It was actually an island, and the ships they got off from the ships, and it was a beach of white sand. The 12 ships lay on their sides at the edge of the shore. The crews crawled up the sand and most fell asleep on their hands and knees. So the ships were quite damaged and they were laid on their sides. ठीक है, ऐसे उनको थोड़ा सा लिटा दिया गया. वहाँ पे जो उसकी एज थी या जो किनारा था समुद्र का, जो शोर था, वहाँ पर उनको ऐसे थोड़ा सा टिल्ट करके they were laid down there. The crews crawled up the sand and most fell asleep on their hands and knees. So the crews or the soldiers were dead tired, they were totally exhausted, so they couldn't move. They just crawled up, somehow they crawled up the sand, and most of them fell asleep. Wherever they could find some space, some land, they just fell off and they just fell asleep there only. Can we go and look for food? Asked Eurylochus. Now, one of the soldiers, he just comes and asks Odysseus for his permission because he wanted to go and search for food on the island. You don't want to rest? Said Odysseus in amazement. Now, Odysseus was quite amazed and quite surprised at Eurylochus' determination and the kind of willpower he has, because the rest of his army was dead tired and this man wanted to go and look for food. So he just asked that, don't you want to get some rest? So he replies, I've got a wife and 6 daughters to get home to, and I don't mean to keep them waiting any longer than I have to, Captain. I've been away 10 years already. So he just replies plainly that I'm quite eager to meet my wife and my 6 daughters who were waiting for me for the past 10 years, and I don't want to keep them waiting any longer. Okay. Very well, but go carefully. Take just 20 men, and I don't want the islanders to think we are invading them. तो वो कहता okay fine, you can go ahead, go and look for food, but be very careful and don't take a lot of men with you. Just take 20 men. Otherwise, what will happen? The islanders will feel as if we were invading them. Okay, or maybe we were just attacking them. The islander must not think that we are here to attack upon them or we are here to do something displeasing. Okay, so Odysseus himself was anxious to inspect the boats for any damage. So Odysseus was more concerned about the boats or the ships, that what were their condition. So Eurylochus took the men and went inland in search of food and fresh water. The sinking sun wounded the sky. Sinking sun wounded the sky means whenever the sun goes down, you must have observed that the sky, it just turns into blood red in color, right? As if it's a poetic way of telling that the sinking sun, or whenever the sun sets, the sky becomes as if the sun has wounded it, okay, or it just turns into blood red in color. The night bruised it black. Now the night has turned the sky into purplish black color, just like bruises, okay, as if उसको काफ़ी घाव लग गए. And still Eurylochus did not come back, okay, and it was quite late, and still Eurylochus didn't come back. So Odysseus waited until early morning to begin the search. So Odysseus still waited, and he waited till early morning, next morning, and after that he started his search. He started to look out for his men, that where had they gone and why hadn't they come back yet. Okay, so I hope you've understood the story till here. Okay, just read this story and mark all the difficult words and also write the word meaning in your fair notebook, and we'll be taking up the rest of it in the next class. Thank you for watching this video.